So in this Dashakam 21, what we see is in this the first verse, Gauri herself, Gauri, another woman, live in this place called Ilavarta. There, Lord Shiva, the Lord Vishnu is present in the form of Sankarshana Murti. There, Lord Shiva is worshipping Shiva in the form of Ardhanarishwara, because you have the presence of Gauri. So both Gauri and Shiva in the form of Ardhanarishwara are worshipping Sankarshana in this place called Ilavarta. Now, all these places that are there, they have all got somewhat semblance to our current day continents also. Of course, the geographical area, today's geography, those times geography can different. Next is after this Bhadrashvanamaka, near Ilavrata, then you have a place called Bhadrashva, which is somewhat you can say in the Purva Disha of Ilavrata. Here you have the Lord Hayagriva who resides here. And Bhattatri says, I meditate on this form of the Lord Hayagriva who helped in restoring back the Vedas during the Pralayakala. That's also the Matsyavataram reference, also Hayagriva. So therefore here Lord Hayagriva is worshipped by rishis and so on in this place called Bhadrashva. Bhattatri says, I also worship him. Further, so you have Ilavrata, then you have Bhadrashva to the east. To the west of Ilavrata, you have Harivarsham. In this Harivarsham, you have the Lord who is worshipped by bhaktas like Prahlada and Narahari. Narahari is also another devotee, Bhakta Prahlada. And here, the Lord, it seems, he is very tall and white. Just as towards the end of, in the 100 last few Dashakams also, we have the different colors of the Lord that are told. Like in certain yugas, depending on the yugas, Satya Yuga till Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga he was white. Slowly in the Treta Yuga, little it became like a reddish hue, then little blue. Then you can say currently in Kali Yuga, idols are black and so on. So like this is how the change takes place. So here also in this place called Harivarsham, which is to the south, to the Dakshina Disha of Ilavrata, the Lord, it seems he is fully white in color. White represents purity. Next is you have a place called Ketumala. So east is done, south is done. Next is to the west. To the Paschima Disha, you have a place called Ketumala. Ketumala. There, who the Lord, it seems, he lives there in the form of Kamadeva, the god of love, for goddess Mahalakshmi. So both goddess Mahalakshmi and Lord Vishnu, they reside happily in this place called Ketumala. And here the Lord is worshipped by the goddess Lakshmi and the different sons of Prajapati. So Prajapati has got different sons. So here the Lord is worshipped by the goddess herself. And Bhattatri says, I am also a part of your devotees. I also worship you. Next, to the north of Ilavrata, Uttara Disha, you have a place called Ramyaka. Ramye Udiche. Verse number 5. There, what happens is Manu, Vaivaswata Manu, he worships the Lord in the form of a fish. That is a Matsyavataram reference. And it seems that people who go and worship in this place, the Lord becomes very happy on them, and immediately Karuna, now always Karuna develops, but Karuna immediately develops, it seems, in the heart of the Lord when he sees devotees coming and worshipping him in the form of a fish. So Bhattatri says, I also worship. Matsya Kritim Bhuvananata Bhaje Bhavantam. I am also ready to worship you in the form of a fish. Next is you have another place called Hiranmaya, which is to the north of this place, Ramyaka, that we saw now. There, the Lord resides in the form of a tortoise, Kurma Avataram. He bears the Mandara mountain on his back, and there the Lord is worshipped by Ariyama. Ariyama, who amongst the Pitrus, you have different Pitrus that are there. So the chief of Pitrus is Ariyama. Bhattatri says, along with Ariyama, I am also worshipping you in the form of a Kachapa. Further, you have a place to the north of Hiranmaya. There, the Lord is worshipped in the form of Yajnavaraham. Yajnavaraham, nothing but with a Varaha Avataram. There, the Lord is worshipped by Bhuma Devi herself. Why Bhuma Devi or goddess Earth? Because Varaha, the Lord in the form of Varaha, had rescued goddess Earth. So, therefore, the Lord is worshipped by goddess Earth there. She chants, it seems, different mantras and so on. And then Yajnavaraham. Yajnavaraham, or you can call it as a divine boar. That's why divine boar, or that, like that yajna is a prefix which is used to show the divinity of the Lord, or Mahanta as we say. Here by Yajna Varaham, again one more meaning for this is Varaha, the boar, was that he increased his size. That is, he became very huge because he had to rescue Mother Earth from the clutches of Patala. So therefore, it seems he became so huge that his dam, if you see, it is given in verse number 7. Dam shtragra grishta ganaprishta garishta varshma The meaning is the tusk that were there of Varaha, they actually touched the clouds, it seems. That huge was the size of Varaha. Therefore, he moved about. Next, yam yam desham bhajati kim purushakya varshe. And further south, if you go to the south of Ilavrita, you have a region called Kim Purusha. Here the Lord is worshipped by Hanuman. याम्यादिशं भजति किं पुरुषाख्यवर्षे संसेवितो Hanumata. And here what happens is the Lord manifests himself in the form of Rama, which so the form here is like Varaha, here the avatara is of Rama. Hanuman is worshipping, and further you also have Sita, who is there, who is very happy when she sees Hanuman showing bhakti on the Lord, and wherever Rama is there, Sita's presence is also felt. So both Rama and Sita are present there, and in this place called Kim Purusha, you have Lord Hanuman who is worshipping Rama. Further, along with Narada and Sri Naradena Saha Bharata Khanda Mukhyai. Finally, in Bharata Varsha, what happens is you have Narada along with all other devotees. They are all meditating upon the Lord. And here, the way of worship is not easy. In fact, people are not merely practicing Bhakti Yoga, they are practicing Sankhya Yoga and methods like Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and so on. So that's how we have yogis and rishis. If you see in olden times, mere bhakti they used to never do. Right? They used to do mere bhakti like what we do in today's times, but for them to reach the ultimate, they had different methods of yoga shastra, Sankhya Yoga, and so on. So therefore, the Lord in Bharata Varsha, they were learned scholars. So the devotees, along with Narada and other bhaktas, they worship through excellent methods like Sankhya and Yoga. So mere philosophy. That's the reason even till date in Bharatavarsha we have the base of Vedanta, Sankhya, Yoga, and so on. Bhakti is just, you can say it is very common for Bharatiyas. Bhakti is something which is there in everyone. But amongst that also, people living in Bharatavarsha are known not for merely just showing Bhakti. Of course, that is the topmost, you can say topmost level, but still philosophy or Vedanta that is there, that is a part of Bharatavarsha. This is what is proved here. And in Bharatavarsha, the Lord manifests himself as Nara and Narayana. And it seems that Nara and Narayana, even in today's Badrikashrama, Badrinath Dham, if you go, you can see the presence of both Nara and Narayana, who are an avatara of Lord Krishna and Arjuna themselves. And here it seems that till Pralaya Kalam, that is towards the end of the world, both Nara and Narayana will reside in Bharatavarsha. Finally, to protect all devotees. So Bhattatri says, I am also worshipping you in that form. Finally, in this place called Plaksha. In Plaksha, what happens is still 2-3 lands are there. In the form of Plaksha, the Lord manifests himself as a form in the form of a sun. Plakshe, Plaksher Karupam. So if you break the word Plakshe Arka Rupam, Arka is sun. Plakshe Karupam Ai Shalmala Indurupam. In this place called Shalmala, the Lord is worshipped as Soma or the moon god himself. Then in a place called Kushadvipa, he is Dvipe Bhajan Dikushana Dvipaha fire. This place called Kushadvipa, he is worshipped as fire. In the Kraunche Amburupam, Kraunche Amburupam. This place called Krauncha is worshipped as water. Then Shaka, in the place called Shaka, is worshipped as Vayu or wind. And Brahma, Tvam Brahma Rupamai Pushkaranam Niloka. Place called Pushkara, he is worshipped as Brahma. So in different places, the Lord is worshipped in different forms. That is, today's Rajasthan also, you have the city of Pushkar, a very important pilgrimage place. You can worship Brahma there. Finally, Dhruva, the pole star, he is there in the sky. That's a group of stars and planets together. They sarve Dhruvadi Bhirodo Prakarair Grihaishcha. So at all the three sandhyas it is mentioned. What is three sandhyas? Sandhyasu Sandhyasurundinarakam Mama Sindushayin. Verse number 11. That is during all the three times morning, evening, and night time. You see, stars and planets are always present. Only thing is, at night time we can see. That's it. That too, we can see only one planet, that is Venus, right? And in general, you can see the stars. Apart from that, from the human eye, we cannot see other things, but that doesn't mean that it is not there. So, therefore, the Dhruvatara, the pole star, along with all other stars and planets, is always present in during all the three sandhyas. Bhattatri says, you are present in the form of nakshatras, grihas, and in the form of dhruva also. Let me worship you in that form. Finally, last verse, what he says is, I also worship you as Adishesha, who is residing at the bottom of Patala. So the Lord in the form of Adishesha is living in Patal Loka, having Sahasra Shirasam. Shiras, that is having 1,000 heads, and you're wearing Neelambaram, wearing blue clothes. You have a plow as your weapon. Halayudham, that is in the form of Balarama. Balarama Bhagavan, an avatar of Adishesha, always had a plow in his hand. And there you are worshipped by Nagas. Now in Patada you have Nagalu. So you are worshipped by serpents also. So, O Lord of Guruvayur, Haragada, Guru Gehanatha. I have described in the last 12 verses your different forms in different places. Now at least you come and bless me, free me from my ailments. So very interesting Dashakam, but 3 wherein he imagines different forms of the Lord in different places. He calls out to the Lord saying that you are present here in this particular form, you are present there in that particular form. Everything I know about you, I'm ready to worship, I'm ready to go to those places and also worship you. But for that, you free me from my ailments. So with this, Dashakam 21 comes to an end.